Odin, god of gods, was not content with being able to see everything that happened in the nine worlds. He was not content even with being able to understand all that he saw. His blood raced, and he longed to test life's winds and tides for himself. While Thor was away fighting trolls and troll women and their wolf children in Ironwood, Odin bridled at his own lack of action. He became so restless that he donned his golden helmet and leaped onto Sleipnir, hungry for some happening. Sleipnir vaulted the torrent Thun beside Valhalla, and then the old river that snaked through a canyon. He spring-heeled over the broad, gleaming river, and the river teeming with spears, and his 8 hooves clattered as he galloped over Skree. For hour after hour, Odin rode towards Jotunheim across utterly dreary country, at first flat and tussocky and pocked with small deserted lakes, then flat and stony, a sea of slabs where nothing lived and nothing grew. At last, where the land began to swell and in some places to smoke, leavened by fires far below the earth crust, Odin came to the hall of Hrungnir, the strongest of all giants. "Who are you?" demanded Hrungnir. The raider pulled his blue cloak close about him, tilted his wide-brimmed hat forward, and said nothing. "I've been watching. I saw you coming, your gold helmet flashing under the sun. You seem to be riding as much through the air as on the ground." Hrungnir rubbed his enormous nose. "That's an uncommonly fine horse you've got there."
Better than any in Jotunheim, that's for sure.
"That's what you think."
That's what I know.
"What do you know of Jotunheim, little man?" said Hrungnir, his temper rising. "Don't be so certain."
I'm certain enough to wager my head on it.
"You fool!" said Hrungnir. "Have you ever heard of Goldmane?"
Who?
"My horse!" shouted Hrungnir. "Goldmane, fast as your horse may be, Goldmane will gallop him into the ground."
Gad, all gad.
"Goldmane!"
My head, Hrungnir.
Odin sprang Sleipnir to a gallop.
Oh, come and collect it!
By the time Hrungnir had sprung onto Goldmane, the helmeted one was already on the other side of the smoking hill. The god and the giant raced across the flatlands, and neither gained ground on the other as they raced into the uplands, and Hrungnir had no thought of anything but the chase. They crossed the 19 rivers, and before the thick-headed giant had taken stock of where he was, he found himself inside the walls of Asgard.
That's an uncommonly fine horse you've got there.
Hrungnir glared at Odin, angry but unable now to do anything about it.
You must be thirsty after such exertion. Let Goldmane drink from this torrent Thund, and you, Hrungnir, come and drink in the Valhalla.
Odin led the way in under the roof of shields and spears. Ranks of warriors filled the benches, feasting and drinking after the day's slaughter, and when they saw the giant, they began to shout. It was an awesome noise, as if the sea itself were caught in the mighty hall and waves were breaking on a strand of stones.
The father battle raised one hand, and as the clamor began to die down, he called out,
Hrungnir comes unarmed, he comes in peace. Let him drink and leave in peace.
All the company in Valhalla watched as Hrungnir tossed off one bottle without taking a breath, and then did the same with the other. Such a tide of ale that not even Thor might have had trouble with it. It was not long before the giant began to feel the effects. "I will!" Odin looked at Hrungnir as one left eye glittered.
Surely not.
"I will!" the giant shouted again. He waved his arms and, thrusting his head forward, glared at Odin. "I'll pick up this piffling haul and carry home to Jotunheim!" The warriors sitting at the bench roared with laughter. Hrungnir swung around to face them. He meant to take a step towards them, but his balance was wrong and he reeled sideways. "I'm going to shink Asgard into the shay," he bellowed. Odin folded his arms. His mask-like face hid his thoughts. After a while, he asked rather casually,
Then what is it to become of us?
"You!" shouted Hrungnir. "I'm going to kill you, your gods and warriors. Smash you!" The giant brought his fist down on a trestle table. Its end leaped up and the table danced and fell flat on its face. There was not so much noise in the hall then. Everyone was watching Hrungnir. "All except you two. You," said the giant, pointing at Freya and the fairest of goddesses. "I'll take you back with me. I can find a use for you." Odin nodded, and Freya sidled forward. As she moved, all the jewels she was wearing flashed and glimmered, and Hrungnir tried to rub the stars out of his eyes. "Drink again," said Freya. She poured a lot more ale into one of the horns. "Is that all the ale in this hall?" demanded the giant. "I'll drink every last drop of ale in Asgard." But although the giant drank more and more, he did not fall into a stupor as Freya had planned. He simply assaulted the company with a stream of boasts. The gods and warriors soon became tired of them, and Odin sent a messenger to find Thor in Ironwood and asked him to return to Asgard at once. It was not long at all before Thor burst into the hall, swinging his hammer. "What's this?" he shouted. "What next?" No one had seen him more angry, even when Loki cut off Sif's hair. What next when sly devils and giants came up to drink in Valhalla? Hrungnir looked at Thor blearily and hiccuped. "Who says you can drink here?" demanded Thor. "And why is Freya waiting on you? Is this a feast in honor of the giants?" The giant waved an arm in the direction of Odin. "His safe conduct," he burbled. "Odin, he invited me in." "Easier to get in than out," said Thor, tightening his hold on hammer and raising it again.
If you kill me unarmed,
said the giant.
it won't add much to your fame, except for foul play.
Drunk as he was, he well understood he had to escape from Valhalla unscathed, and he knew too what would touch Thor most closely. It would be a better test, he began. A test your bravery. What? Said Thor.
If you dare to fight me.
Dared, repeated Thor between his teeth.
I challenge you to meet me. On the borders, Jotunheim and Asgard will fight at Hrungnir Garter, the stone fenced house.
Thor looked at the giant. Sorry, I was in earnest. What a great Oh. You.
What a great fool I am to have left my home and shield at home. If I had my weapons, we could settle the matter here and now. And if you mean to kill me unarmed, you're a coward.
No one had dared challenge Thor to deal before. The god was eager to accept. You can count on it, he told the giant. I do not break faith. Do not break faith with me. Then Hrungnir barged out of Valhalla without a backward look.
When the giants heard about Hrungnir's journey to Valhalla and the forthcoming duel with Thor, they had thought he won a great honor. But the giants were uneasy and anxious. They knew that if Hrungnir had lost the duel and was killed, that would be a bad hour for Jotunheim. At Gurjotnargadar, there was a river with a bed of clay. The giants worked day and night and piled up the clay and made a mountain of man. He was 9 leagues high and measured 3 leagues across the chest from armpit to armpit. They called this clay giant Miscaf, and told him to wait by Gurjotnargadar. On the appointed day, Hrungnir headed for the stone fence house. Then Thor, the son of Earth, angrily sprang into his chariot, and Thialfi leaped in beside him.
Thor can see you. Can you hear me? Thor can see you with your shield raised before you. Can you hear me, Hrungnir? Put it on the ground. Stand by your shield. Thor will come at you from below. Then Hrungnir laid his stone shield on the ground and stood on it. He grasped his helm with both hands. The moment he saw Hrungnir standing at the stone fence house, Thor brandished his hammer and hurled it at him. The giant was assaulted by blinding, forked flashes and claps of thunder. Hrungnir saw the hammer flying towards him. He drew back his hone and aimed it straight at Mjolnir. The hammer and the hone met in midair with a dazzling flash, followed by a crack that was heard throughout the 9 worlds. The hone was smashed into thousands of fragments. The shrapnel flew in every direction. One place flew in Midgard and split it again as it crashed into the ground. Every bit is Wheelstone quarry. Another piece whistled through the air and lodged in Thor's head. But Thor's hammer found its target. Despite the hone, Mjolnir struck Hrungnir on the forehead and crushed his skull. The giants tottered, and one of his massive legs pinned Thor down by the neck. My head!
Thialfi inspected the piece of wellstone stuck in Thor's head. It's in better shape than Hrungnir's head, said Thialfi. He seized the giant's leg and tried lifting the lift off of it and released Thor. But for Thialfi, it was like trying to lift the trunk off a tree. He was unable to move it an inch.
Get help! Put to good use. It was not at all long before many of the gods hurried out of Asgard and came to Grotengardr, rejoicing at Thor's great victory and anxious to release him. One by one, the strongest of the gods tried to lift the giant leg, but none of them, not even Odin himself, was able to do anything about it. The last to reach stone fence house was Magni.
Now let me try.
Magni stooped, grasped Hrungnir by the heel, and swung the giant's foot away from his father's neck.
When Thor got to Thrudvang and walked into his own hall of Berserknir, the whetstone was still stuck in his head. So he sent to Midgard for the Sibyl Groa, the wife of Arvandil the Brave. The wise woman hurried up over Bifrost, and all night she chanted magic words over Thor, charms and spells known only to her. As she sang, the hone began to work loose, and the hammering in Thor's head began to fade. It seemed like less pain than the memory of pain. Thor was so thankful that he wanted to make Groa happy. He told Groa that he knew her husband could bring him back to life. Groa became so happy that she forgot her charms, and Thor became so angry he sent her away, and that is why the whetstone remains in Thor's head.